The real threats in your life may not come from those who openly show their hatred. On the contrary, they may come from people who always smile at you and act friendly and supportive. But behind that facade lies a terrifying deception. They don't just want to see you fail. In some cases, they may secretly plot to destroy you in ways you would never suspect, even pushing you into life-threatening situations. Sounds extreme? Maybe. But reality is often far more terrifying than you can imagine. It's possible that within your circle of friends, colleagues, or even among those closest to you, there is someone harboring intentions you have never questioned. And the scariest part? These people never openly reveal their hostility. They don't loudly criticize you or confront you directly. Instead, they choose to quietly manipulate, negatively influence, or subtly sabotage your life from within. The danger of such individuals lies in their ability to hide their true nature. They may appear to be a trustworthy friend, a kind-hearted acquaintance, or even someone willing to lend a helping hand when you're struggling. But beneath that mask are hidden schemes and covert actions that gradually strip away your opportunities, erode your self-confidence, or even drag you into unfortunate situations without you ever realizing where it all started. Sadly, most people only recognize these warning signs when it's too late, when the damage has already been done, when relationships have fallen apart, when careers have suffered, or when mental and physical well-being has been severely affected. But you don't have to wait until everything spirals out of control to see the truth. By understanding the warning signs, you can protect yourself from those with harmful intentions, those who could be working against you without your knowledge. What I'm about to share is not baseless fear or vague speculation. These are proven warning signs that many overlook because they don't want to believe someone in their life could be that dangerous. But remember, knowledge is power. If you can recognize these signs in time, you may start to see certain relationships in a new light. And more importantly, you can protect yourself from those who are not truly trustworthy. So, what are the most crucial warning signs? How can you tell if you face a real threat you've never noticed before? Let's dive in, because this may forever change the way you perceive the world around you. The first and most terrifying sign: the silent observer. There is a dangerous type of person in your life that you may not even recognize: the silent observer. They are not like openly hostile enemies who show their hatred or jealousy. Instead, they quietly monitor your every move with unsettling patience, silently gathering information about you without your knowledge. This is not just casual curiosity or mindless social media scrolling. This is deliberate, calculated surveillance. And if you don't pay attention, you might not even realize that you've become their prey. Think about your social media presence right now. Do you have someone on your friend list who always knows where you are, even when you haven't posted anything about your location? They may not comment or interact much, but they always seem aware of your actions, where you're going, and who you're meeting. That's because they aren't just tracking you through what you post. They're also watching through the people around you, your friends, colleagues, and even tagged posts you didn't notice. They might spend hours analyzing the smallest details in your photos, memorizing the places you frequent, and keeping tabs on the people you regularly meet. And if they are patient enough, they will begin to piece together your schedule with frightening accuracy. However, silent observer is dangerous because its surveillance doesn't stop on social media. They take it a step further by tracking you in real life. Have you ever noticed someone appearing at your usual spots unusually? A person who, coincidentally, shows up at your favorite coffee shop exactly when you're there? Or someone who suddenly starts going to the gym at the same time as you, even though they never had an interest in fitness before? Maybe they even bump into you at the grocery store, on your way to work, or even near your home, at times and places that only someone close to you should know about. These are not mere coincidences. This is deliberate surveillance. These people don't act impulsively or out of sudden anger. They have a plan, a strategy. They are interested in what you do and your habits, routines, and vulnerabilities. If someone truly intends to harm you, the first thing they will do is study you closely. And the terrifying part is that they may have been doing this for a long time before you ever realize their presence. Pay attention to people who appear too frequently under suspicious circumstances. If someone seems to always know where you are and what you're doing, even when you haven't shared that information, this is the first and most crucial warning sign of a real threat. They are not simply jealous or harboring resentment towards you. They are silently collecting data, preparing for something you cannot predict. Do not ignore these signs. Do not wait until it's too late to realize that someone has been tracking you far more closely than you ever imagined. If you ever feel that something isn't right, trust your instincts. Sometimes they may be the one thing that could save your life. The second sign, the patience predator. Unlike those who act out of sudden anger or impulse, a patient predator is terrifying because they know how to wait. They are not reckless, nor are they in a hurry. Every move they make is meticulously calculated, sometimes months or even years. They do not reveal their intentions right away, nor do they engage in obvious suspicious behavior. Instead, they quietly gather information, silently observe, and prepare for the perfect moment to strike. One of these individuals' most dangerous yet often overlooked signs is their excessive curiosity about their plans. They don't just ask casual questions, but persistently dig into the details. They want to know where you plan to go this weekend, when exactly you will be at a specific location, how things are going with your new job, whether you are planning to move, or if you will be traveling alone or with someone. At first glance, their questions may seem harmless, even making you believe they genuinely care about your life. But ask yourself, does their interest truly come from sincerity? A predator never asks questions randomly. Their curiosity is never just for the sake of conversation. Every piece of information they gather serves a purpose. They want to know precisely when you will be alone, when you are most vulnerable, and when there is no one around to protect you. They pay attention to even the smallest changes in your habits, memorizing details that you might not even notice about yourself. When someone always seems to remember where you're going and what you're doing, and sometimes even knows things before you mention them, that is not a sign of innocent concern. That is a sign of a carefully laid out plan. What makes these individuals particularly dangerous is that they never rush. They understand that time is their greatest weapon. They are willing to wait for years if necessary, building trust, playing the role of a caring friend, and maintaining the image of someone completely harmless. But when the right moment arrives, they will act before you realize what's happening. If you ever notice someone who seems excessively curious about your personal life, always asking unnecessary questions about your plans, take a step back and listen to your instincts. Do not dismiss it as a mere concern. Some people do not seek information to help you. They seek it to use it against you, to exploit your weakest moments. This is not just someone who is jealous of you or secretly hopes for your failure. This is someone who may be lying in wait, calculating the perfect moment to do something you would never expect. If something feels off, trust your intuition. Do not ignore the warning signs. Do not wait until it is too late to realize that someone has been watching you for far longer than you ever imagined. Act now, because your safety, and perhaps even your life, may depend on it. The third sign, calculated escalation. Truly dangerous individuals rarely reveal their intentions outright. They do not lash out impulsively or resort to immediate violence. Instead, they test, probe, and evaluate your reactions before deciding on their next move. Their escalation is not spontaneous. It is a carefully orchestrated process, executed step by step, to determine whether you are an easy target. It often begins with seemingly harmless words, offhanded jokes with an underlying threat. Someone might say, "I could kill you right now," before laughing it off as if it were just a joke. Or they may casually display a collection of weapons, boast about their combat skills, or take pride in their ability to inflict harm. At first, you might dismiss these remarks as meaningless bravado, mere attempts to show off. But in reality, these are not idle words. These are tests. Their goal is to observe your reaction. Do you laugh along and brush it off? Do you appear nervous? Do you object or show signs of fear? If you downplay these comments and fail to set firm boundaries, they will take it as a green light to push further. Once you tolerate verbal threats, they will escalate to testing your physical boundaries. The next stage of escalation often involves subtle physical intimidation. These individuals will begin to invade your personal space in uncomfortable ways, but are difficult to call out immediately. They might stand too close while speaking, maintain prolonged eye contact to exert pressure, or accidentally bump into you more often than normal. At first, you may write it off as mere clumsiness. Still, over time, a pattern will emerge. Seemingly innocent touches, moments when they deliberately block your path, instances when they suddenly appear right behind you without warning. Every action serves a purpose: to assess your vulnerability. If you do not resist, fail to establish boundaries, and show discomfort without taking a firm stance, they will take it as a sign to push further. They do not want to alarm you immediately. Instead, they want to condition you to accept their presence, to slowly increase their level of control until it becomes suffocating, until you are trapped without even realizing how it happened. Listen to your instincts. If someone repeatedly makes jokes that contain threats or consistently invades your personal space, do not ignore it. Do not convince yourself that they are just joking. Dangerous individuals always test their victims first. The only thing that stops them is when they realize you are not an easy target. If something feels off, do not dismiss it. Act before this escalation turns into a real threat. The fourth sign, the false friend. Be wary of those suddenly entering your life with excessive interest and concern. Not everyone who appears friendly truly has good intentions. Some are not looking for friendship. They are looking for information. They do not merely pretend to be your friend. They deliberately infiltrate every aspect of your life with a hidden agenda. At first, they may seem like the perfect companion. They always listen, show up when you need support, and sometimes even be the first to offer help when you are struggling. They patiently build trust, pay close attention to the smallest details about you, and make you believe that this is a genuine bond. They make you feel special, as if you have finally found someone who truly understands you. But while you open up and share your stories, secrets, and deepest fears, they are not just listening. They are collecting information. These individuals do not stop at getting close to you. They extend their reach, forming connections with the people who matter most in your life, your family, friends, and colleagues. They may work their way into your inner circle, creating a strong network around you and making their presence feel natural and trustworthy. And once they have firmly embedded themselves into your world, they will use the details you shared against you, manipulating you in ways you never saw coming. The most terrifying aspect of a false friend is not their deception, but their ability to turn your trust into a weapon against you. They know your weaknesses, understand your fears, and recognize who and what matters most to you. When the time is right, they will use that knowledge to control you, to hurt you, or worse, to put you in a situation you cannot escape. Do not trust someone simply because they seem friendly. A real friendship develops over time, not through rushed connections or an overwhelming display of affection. If someone you barely know suddenly wants to know everything about you, appears in every part of your life, or quickly wins the trust of those closest to you, stop and ask yourself, are they truly concerned? Or do they have another motive? Stay alert to those who come close only to extract information. A genuine friend would never turn your vulnerabilities against you. If something does not feel right, do not ignore it. You may not be dealing with a friend at all or facing a well-disguised threat. The fifth sign, the sabotage tactic. Some people do not just want to hurt you. They want to destroy your life in a way that makes it nearly impossible for you to recover. They are unsatisfied with causing minor inconveniences or small conflicts. They want to dismantle your entire support system, leaving you with nothing to hold on to. Their approach is subtle at first, seemingly harmless. It might begin with an offhand remark about you to a close friend, sowing small seeds of doubt about your sincerity. A vague suggestion at work that makes colleagues question your character. A whispered rumor, a passing comment with hidden implications, a carefully crafted hint that you are untrustworthy or hiding something. What makes the sabotage tactic so dangerous is how systematic yet discreet it is. Each incident appears unrelated. A colleague suddenly becomes distant, a close friend grows cold, or someone you once trusted now seems skeptical of you for no apparent reason. When you realize what is happening, you have already been isolated. And the worst part? You may have no idea who orchestrated it all. Think about recent conflicts in your life. Is there someone who always seems to be on the sidelines, never directly involved, but always present when things go wrong? Are they the ones who show up to comfort you when trouble arises, yet somehow seem to know too much about the rumors spreading around you? Do they always appear innocent, yet, for some reason, every problem you face seems to lead back to them? This is not a coincidence. This is a deliberate plan to break you down from within. These individuals are not just trying to damage your reputation. They want to completely isolate you, ensuring you have no one to trust. They can manipulate your boss into questioning your work performance while driving a wedge between you and your relationships. They create situations that make you appear unstable, unreliable, or even dangerous in the eyes of others. And when you finally react, they use that very reaction to reinforce the false narrative they have constructed about you. The most dangerous part? These people know how to manipulate the truth. They do not need to outright lie. They only need to twist reality, just enough to make others doubt you. A distorted version of events, a carefully framed situation, a slight exaggeration added to a story. These small alterations are enough to severely damage your credibility. To protect yourself, you must act immediately. Start keeping records, save emails, document conversations, and note any incidents that feel like manipulation. Strengthen your support network by maintaining connections with people who know you can see through lies and are not easily swayed. Remember, the only way to counter a saboteur is to expose them before their plan is complete. Do not let yourself become a victim of someone methodically working to bring you down. Stay alert, defend yourself, and never underestimate the danger of someone trying to destroy you from the shadows. If you recognize these 5 signs in someone around you, understand that you are not just dealing with jealousy or resentment. You are facing a real threat, someone who may be concealing far more dangerous intentions than you ever suspected. Their actions are not just driven by envy or spite. They could lay the groundwork for something far worse. The difference between becoming a tragic cautionary tale and emerging as a survivor depends on what you do next. Will you take action to protect yourself? Or will you ignore the warnings and allow yourself to become a target? Listen carefully. Ignoring these signs could be more than just a mistake. It could be deadly. These are not baseless fears or exaggerated concerns. These patterns have been observed in countless real-life cases where victims only realized the danger when it was too late. You know the 5 critical warning signs: the silent observer, the patient predator, the calculated escalation, the false friend, and the saboteur. These individuals do not act impulsively. They have a strategy and plan, and if you are not paying attention, you might unknowingly play into their game. If you continue to ignore these red flags, you are not just risking your safety, you are allowing dangerous people to continue their deadly game. Before this video ends, I need you to do two things. First, save this video right now. You may feel safe today, but if you ever recognize these signs in someone, you will need to rewatch this to know exactly how to respond. Second, continue watching the next video on your screen about how to identify covert narcissists. Did you know that many of the most dangerous individuals share the traits of narcissistic personality disorder? These people are master manipulators who can make you trust them completely, only to slowly gain control over your life and destroy it piece by piece. Understanding them will help you detect danger before it fully unfolds. Your survival may depend on what you are about to learn next. Do not just absorb this information, act on it. Knowledge is your first defense, but what you do with it determines whether you will be a victim or a survivor. Stay alert, take action, and above all, stay alive.